Okay, so it says min sharri ma khalaq. Okay, here I have to erase this again. Can I go erase?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, sirs. We're back on ma khalaq. Ma khalaq is another principle again that we have to understand really clear. It says evil is not to be attributed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, evil is not to be attributed to Allah, okay? To be attributed to Allah. However, Allah created everything. Allah created evil and He created good. All of Allah's actions are pure and good. If Allah's actions included any aspect of evil, Allah would have produced a name for Himself denoting this action of evil. However, Allah doesn't have anything like that. Allah remains the one who created good and evil, and there are a few points to consider. The main one is that Allah allows evil to occur, and Allah tests us through it. Okay? The second point is the first point. The second point is that the Prophet ﷺ totally eliminated the notion that any evil could come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah's messenger totally eliminated the notion that evil comes from Allah. And there's a famous hadith. It goes like, it's in the book of Hajj in Sahih al-Bukhari, the hadith number 1550. For anyone to look it up, in Sahih al-Bukhari, the book of Hajj. Here in the Prophet ﷺ, in this called Al-Talbiyah, he says, Labbaika wa sa'adayk, which means, here I am and I am under your command. وَالْخَيْرُ فِي يَدَيْكَ, and all good is in your hands. وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ, and there is no evil that is to be attributed to you. There is no evil that is done that comes from you. This statement of the Prophet ﷺ totally eradicates the notion that evil comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When it says, وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ إِلَيْكَ, that part of it, وَالشَّرُّ لَيْسَ عَلَيْكَ, it means, and there is no evil that comes from you, okay, that can be attributed to you. And so here, whenever we find evil in the Quran or anything like that, and I was thinking about talking about this because I didn't want to confuse anybody, but I think I have to just bring up the point. You see in Surat Al-Fatiha, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Surat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim. Remember that part in the surah? Who is the an'am? What does an'amta mean? An'amta is from the word na'uma, which means a blessing, something that is good, right? An'amta. So an'ama is something that is a ni'mah, na'uma. Okay? It's a blessing. From this word we get the word ni'mah, which is literally a blessing. Na'ma is something soft. An'am is cattle, the good things in life. Ta, on the other hand, means you. Who is this you referring to in Surah Al-Fatiha? When we say Surat al-Ladina an'amta alayhim, who are we referring to when we say an'amta, you?
Allah.
This is referring to Allah. الآخر مذكور إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت. The ones whose path you, Allah, have put that ni'mah upon them. That's when Allah's name is mentioned. Then it says غير المغضوب عليهم. It says غير المغضوب. But it doesn't mention Allah here. Okay? Allah is not mentioned as the doer of the anger. He is not the ghadib in this case. And then it says, وَلَا الضَّالِينَ. Al-Dhalin here, these people here is not mentioned who made them Dhal. Allah is not the one who's astray, the Dhal. He's not making them go astray. Their being placed in a place of anger is due to their rebellion. And their being Dhalin is due to them straying from right guidance. So evil is a consequence, not to come from Allah. So it can't be attributed to Allah, but it's a consequence of something. And this is what has to be understood in this one when you say, وَمَا خَلَقْ. It's not that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the evil one. The one that you can attribute evil to. Rather, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows evil to occur, tests us through evil, through these evil things, and sometimes makes justice through evil. And so it's not to be attributed to him, and I hope it's not a confusing point. Is that confusing to anyone? I had a few more examples, but I don't want to, again, confuse anybody. Is it clear? Can I go on? Yes. Okay. What's the next ayah that we want? وَمِن شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ وَمِن شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ, right? Allah's message, it says, وَمِن شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ, right? مِن شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ, right? Now, we went over this ayah one time linguistically. Now let's go over it from the way of a hadith. And it says that from the evil of the nightfall, of the time of night, when the night just falls, right when it gets dark, when it gets scary. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, on the authority of Jabir ibn Abdullah. Jabir ibn Abdullah. Or Jabir. He's another great Sahabi. He said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when nightfall comes, keep your children in. Because the devils spread out at nightfall, right? But after an hour of the night has passed, you can let them, free again. This again is in Sahih al-Bukhari. I forget exactly where it is in Sahih al-Bukhari. But this is a hadith that's narrated by in Sahih al-Bukhari. So at this time of night, it's stated from this hadith on the authority of Jabir ibn Abdullah that at the time of night, this is when the devils come out. Everybody remembers us saying the freaks come out at night. It's true. The devils come out at night. They spend their whole night out and they come out of their little cracks and crevices and run around. They drink all night. They party all night. They have all type of licentious actions. And then as soon as it starts to get light again, they crawl back into their little cubby holes, into their dark places, cover the curtains, and sleep till asr. And this is the habit that they do. And a lot of people promote this for their younger children and say, sow your oats in this manner. Okay? So we're seeking refuge in Allah from the evil of that time. When all the devils and everything come out and they get to roam around the earth. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us through this ayah. Then it says, وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّثَاتِ, right? And we'll be finished this right now. Fil uqad. Okay, here we have a famous hadith. And from the evil of the sorcerers, right? We'll do right here, the sorcerers, or the voodoo people, or the obia, or the, what is it called? Santeria. Or the people that's doing roots. Or whatever else they want to call it. In any other land. The people that do these things, we're seeking refuge from them. Are we saying now that this type of some magic and sorcery is real? Yes. The Prophet ﷺ told us that al-ayn al-haq, that the evil eye is real. And why are we talking about the evil eye? Because that's what hasad is. When we talk about hasad, we're talking about someone who's jealous, who's envious, who's hating on something you got, and he looks at it, and he cuts his eyes at you, or the girls, when they roll their eyes. All this stuff is the evil eye, and it shouldn't be done. If back in the days, the parents said, when you go to someone else, don't look at nothing. Keep your eyes down. Don't be staring at people's things. Be staring at nobody's food. All that is the evil eye. And we need to seek refuge in it. But here we're talking about the voodoo. We have a hadith narrated by Aisha radiyallahu anha.